How's it going, everybody? As always, your Vice President Scott Evans here to shoot our 4th episode of our Q&A. You guys have leaved a lot of good comments telling us you really enjoy us doing this and appreciate the work that we do. First off, I want to take a moment to say we appreciate each and every one of you guys, and you keep asking the questions, we'll keep answering them. That being said, we'll just get right into it. First question. Scott, it seems like you're always fishing. How many times have you been fishing so far this year, do you think? Well, not that anybody's counting, but I think we've been out 147 or 148 times so far this year, something like that. Not every day, so we're going to have to step it up next year, but we're getting closer. Next question. Do you prefer hunting season or fishing season? You know, we've been asked this question quite a bit, and honestly, we've answered it both ways. So it really depends on the time of the year. If there's absolutely nothing that we can hunt, fishing is obviously the preferred option. If duck season and the hunting's pretty slow, we'll hopefully have some fishing rods with us so we can go out and fish. But other than that, with bear season, we always get to go trout fishing. So they kind of depends on the time of the year, and it depends on if we can do them both at the same time. Alrighty, next question. It seems like you're always dreaming big, Scott, and I love that. What are some of the big dreams that you have for Hunters for Life? I'll share one of them with you because this is one I go to bed and think about all the time. And it's always been to own a game ranch. Hopefully, be able to have the land donated or buy it at a heavily discounted price. Have some great people volunteer to work with us, and then find out that balance between profit and not for profit, where we'll be able to have people that have the means come in and pay for the hunts. And then them in turn paying for the hunt will be able to allow us to to run the game ranch for free, and then bring in people less fortunate, completely donated, completely paid for, and put them on just the hunt of a lifetime. Give them great food, give them great lodging. Just be just as nice as people you can with them. But I feel like if you're going to get somebody into big game hunting and just putting them out in the woods, if you're not in a good area, you don't know exactly what you're doing. Somebody who's kind of iffy about, pursuing a passion of hunting might be more inclined to start if they go out into a game ranch and there's like 150 trophy whitetail out in front of them. So that's just one of the big dreams that we have. Good question. I know you're a pretty busy guy. Some may say famous. But what is the easiest way to get a hold of you? Oh, that's funny. Honestly, we're pretty big on Instagram. Our business page has like 114,000 followers, and I think I just hit 50 on my own personal one. And the one downside to Instagram is they only load like the most recent 100 comments. So when you're getting a couple hundred likes on a picture, 10 or 20 comments, followers, all that kind of stuff, as much time as we do put into Instagram, we're not always on top of it, so a lot of comments, slip through the cracks. So probably Snap. If you don't have my phone number, if you have my phone number, just text or call me whenever. But probably Snapchat or just a YouTube comment. Those are probably right now, or Facebook message. Those are probably our most responsive platforms right now. Good question. I always hear you talking about t-shirts. Do you guys plan to have any hats, sweatshirts, bandanas, anything like that, etc.? Absolutely. Right now, our credit cards are pretty maxed out, so we just ordered a whole bunch of t-shirts, so we're going to sell those. All the profits go back to charity, but as soon as we get some of those flowing, we got our graphic designer working right now on a flat brim snapback hat with like a red, white, and blue Hunters for Life logo, so we're hoping to see what she comes up with for that. She's pretty good at what she does, so shout out to you, Jackie. We love you. Yeah, after we can get rid of some of those, we'll have some hats and some like Live Strong bracelets. We'll say Hunters for Life on them, obviously, and then in the future probably sweatshirts, long sleeve shirts, maybe even some of the fancy like Under Armour material like bass shirts, something like that. So yeah, anything we could do to get our brand out there. Our partners are already in like 35, 36 states, and I think we've got t-shirts in even more states than that so far. So every little bit counts. Great question. Next question. For somebody who is just getting into the entrepreneurship / personal development world, what are a few things and a few books that you could recommend? Well, I'm hoping that this person's already seen our motivational mini-series on the 3 important things that we entitled for our business success, at least, and that's just persistence, belief, and finding your passion. So really, besides that, it's just really just that switch in paradigm from moving away from the fact that you have to go in and trade your time to make you happy, whether that be going in and working at a job that you hate, or just doing something that doesn't make you happy. I think when you make that switch and you realize that regardless if you have to take a pay decrease, regardless of if it'll put a little bit more temporary stress on other people, but as long as you find out what your passion is, what you want to do, and you start following it, whether that's an hour a week, 10 hours a week, 80 hours a week, whatever it may be, you find your passion, follow it, make that switch in a paradigm that's your legacy, what you were put on this earth to do, and then everything kind of works out pretty well from there. But 3 books, Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I'll probably put these in the description down here. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. We've probably listened to each one of those books about 25 times. If you're not a good reader like I'm not, obviously, audible.com, they've got great audiobooks. And yeah, next question. Oh, geez. If you guys are going out walleye fishing, are you taking artificial or live bait? I'm taking a case of beer. Because honestly, I don't at all consider myself a walleye angler. We've got a couple of buddies that are a lot better than I am, but whenever I go with them, it always seems like it's one of those, oh, you should have been here yesterday, or, oh, it's going to be incredible tomorrow kind of deals. But I am persistent, so I am going to figure out a way to get a couple walleye each time, but it hasn't happened yet. As far as walleye advice goes, I'm not the guy to ask. How big do you see Hunters for Life getting, Scott? Well, I'm pretty optimistic, if you guys couldn't tell by now. And like I said earlier, we've got partners in like 35, 36 states. Our goal is all 50 by January 1st. Some of those states have been a little harder to reach into, but we'll get there. And as far as numbers-wise, Red Cross and all those big nonprofit organizations, Wounded Warrior even's pretty big, but I figure if they can raise a couple $100 million or maybe even $1 billion, I think that we should be able to be running. We should be able to be running right with them. Call that cocky, but we can change the world with $10. We can change the world with $1 million. But we can really change the world with a couple $1 million. So, yeah, that's my answer for that one. Next question. I saw you bought another rod the other day, Scott. What did you get and would you recommend it? Absolutely recommend it, and I've got it right here. I can show you guys. Got 2 of them actually. I already had one. I loved it so much that I had to go get another one. They are the Murica number 8 spinning rods. Red, white, and blue. They got stars on them. They're probably the most patriotic fishing pole I've ever seen. I got braid on one of them and fluorocarbon on the other. And guys, I promise you that I didn't know this when I bought them, but they've got a bottle opener on the handle, so that's definitely a selling feature. And I mean, this is the rod that I reeled in that 4-pound and 4.8-pound smallmouth on Lake Michigan a couple days ago. So if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. But I mean, the rod was working, but there was definitely did not think at any point that it was going to break. So it can for sure hold up. I highly recommend it. They're only like $40 at Gander Mountain. Alright guys, I think we've got time for one more. Last question. Ooh, this guy must have watched my other videos. Aside from snakes, what is your biggest fear? Honestly, probably, at one point I would have said it was failure, but I've learned, if you fail and keep going, you learn faster and become successful faster. So honestly, probably somebody in our family or, in our main core Hunters for Life team getting, super sick. And yeah, that's probably about my biggest fear right there. So that'll about wrap it up for episode 4 of our Q&A. We appreciate each and every one of you for watching, and hit the subscribe button, like, comment, leave another question. We'll try to answer it for next week. And with that, as always, the Vice President Scott Evans here.